Good afternoon and welcome to my craft room. My name is Michele and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stamping Up. Today I thought we'd just play with a product that I haven't, I've only played with once before, and that will be on a blog hop that I'm involved in and will be up and running on the 4th, so in a couple of days' time. So I thought I'd have another play with it today, and that's a product called Timeless Arrangements. Now, just before we get stuck into doing that, a couple of things I'd just like to let you know about. One is, let me just bring it up here. Stamping Up, I've got a couple of great promotions happening. One is a designer series paper. During June, you can purchase the designer series paper for 15% off on a selected range of papers. So if you go on to michellejutrissa.stampingup.net, then you will find the links there to all of those papers, or even on my Facebook page, you will find the links to there as well. The other thing that they've got happening is their starter kit. They've got a promotion with their starter kit. So purchasing, sorry, I can hardly read it on my screen. I'm hoping you can see it, but there's a great startup of, sorry, I can't. It's just a little bit small on my screen. Look, really worthwhile thinking. If you're thinking about getting involved in Stamping Up, or even getting into a craft, I do craft because it's my relaxation. It's my time out. It's the time when I can download and really enjoy myself. I get involved and I will forget the time. I will go through the whole day and realize I haven't eaten, I haven't had anything to drink, and it's the end of the day and ready to get ready for dinner. I just find it myself is just a really great way of downloading, especially since my other business is alterations and it can be very hectic. So to have that downtime at the end of the week is really, really important to me. So Stamping Up has been really great for that because I've got the products, everything is there. I don't have to go to 20 million shops. I can order it directly from them, get it sent to me. I get a discount on everything that I have, and I get to share everything with all my friends. And my Stamping Up friends have become like my Stamping Up family. So if you're interested in getting involved, you don't need to run it as a business if you don't want to. You can just do it as a hobby. And if you're wanting to get involved and find out more, please ask me. All the information and everything is up there. But now is really a great time for starting up because you still pay that lower price and you're getting a lot of product for free. So really, really good time. I'm sorry I can't read the prices. What it all says. I think it's $283 worth of product and you only pay $169, I think it is. I should print it out so I've got it right in front of me. But anyway, check it out. Have a think about it. If you want to chat with me about it and you live here in Australia, by all means, contact me. So let me just get back to me again. Please jump on, say hello, let me know where you're from. It's always really good to see comments from people and to see where people are from. It's wonderful. I'm making friends from all around the world by doing these lives, and it's really good to chat with people. Sorry I wasn't on last week, but as I said before, sometimes my alterations business just gets a little bit hectic. And unfortunately, last week I worked for 3 days catching up with work that I had to do for other people. So let's get started and let's have some fun time because this really is my fun time. And let's play with the stamp set and dies from the Timeless Arrangements. So I'm going to pop my camera downwards so you can see this here on my desk. So this is a stamp set, Timeless Arrangements. It's got some really excuse me, got some really great basic fonts, sentiments here. Your kindness means everything to me. You're everything. You make me smile. You are kind. You're always being there. Yeah, for always being there. I really appreciate you. Thank you. A very big, and then it's got thanks. Just can't wait. So you can even put some of these together and make up some of your own sentiments. It's got just can't enough, very much, love, and you are the best, for being my friend, to you, love you, hope your day is filled with everything good, for always believing in me from the bottom of my heart. So there's quite a bit in that. And as I said, you can piece some of these sentiments together to create your own sentiment as well. And then it's just got a few stamps down the bottom. But the beauty of this set is actually the dies. Now, just let me bring this piece of cardstock in and let me just show you some of the dies. I haven't got all the dies out, but these are just some of the ones that we're playing with today. So what they've done is they've given a bar and they've got some floral pieces coming from it. So you can die cut that and you've already got a base. And then you can cover up this piece here. So you've got a few different ones here. So instead of having lots of little pieces, you can layer all these on top of each other. It still does have all the little pieces because you've got this die here which cuts out that piece, the bigger die here which will cut out this piece here. You've got some smaller little leaf dies, and as I said, this is not even all of them, some little flowers. There's about 3 different sizes in sentiment bars, and they will cover up that little bar there, or you could even put a bit of ribbon across there. You've got this one here which cuts out these flowers here. There's a die that cuts out this piece, and there's a die that cuts out this one. This one here is a little decorative piece that you can stamp on your page, which doesn't have a die. And we're going to be using that today. So it's just a really, I think there's a lot of elements in this, and it's a lot of fun to play with. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take all these out of the road. We're going to be using this coloured cardstock, but I'm going to team it up with soft sea foam. So I've done my card base in soft sea foam. I've done an insert for the inside of my card in very vanilla because I thought that would sort of be nice and soft rather than adding contrast with the white. It wouldn't blend so well. We've got the Mossy Meadow, which we're going to mat our card with, and plus we're going to die cut some bits and pieces. Then I've got some scraps here of very vanilla soft sea foam and a pop of this colour, which is your Berry Burst. So just to add a bit of highlight. Hi, Linny. How are you? Linny and I had morning tea together yesterday, and it was wonderful. It was so lovely to catch up. So I'm going to pop a bit of Berry Burst in this card as well. And also, too, I'm going to be adding some vellum because I just wanted to add a little bit of softness. And sometimes your vellum can do that. Just adds that little bit of extra softness without having a heavy piece of white or something in there. So, and you can stamp on this, or you can just die cut, and I'm just going to die cut some pieces. But first off, what I want to do is I want to decorate the front of my card. So I've got a piece of soft sea foam here, and this is going to be the card front to my card. And we're going to start off with my inks. Let me just grab these here. So what I've got in my inks, I've got soft sea foam, I've got Berry Burst, and I've got Mossy Meadow. So they're the 3 colours that we're going to be working with today. And I'm going to start off with my soft sea foam, and we're going to be creating a background on our card front. So what I'm going to do, let me just pull up my sleeves because sleeves keep wanting to fall down, and I'm going to use this little piece here, which is just like little circles, to create an edging all around my card. So I've just re-inked my ink pad. So it's quite juicy at the moment. And all I'm going to do is just go around and ink up. And I don't mind if I'm going over it a little bit, because what I want to do is come like over the top of the same die, because I want everything to be covered. So we're just going to create an edge. You can go in as far as you like or as little as you like, filling up some of those holes there. Just want to create a bit of texture there on our card. So just going all the way around the edge. Some of them are a little bit further in, some of them are a little bit heavy. I've got a space there. I'm just going to stamp straight over the top. Turn your stamp around a little bit so you've got different angles and different shapes. Okay, so once I've created that, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to grab a small blending brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of the soft sea foam on here. Just tap it off on my page because I've got a lot of ink in there, and I'm just going to start off and just bring that on, and I just want to soften all those edges. Now you'll find a little bit of ink in this will go a long way, and I'm just going to keep, when I re-ink it, just tap a little bit of the ink off onto my scratch paper, and then I'm working off my scratch paper and bringing my brush onto my paper, because I just want to soften up some of these edges, but I don't want to cover my what I've already stamped too heavy that I lose it. We're just sort of highlighting and just creating a bit of a border around our card. Okay, so once you've got enough on there and you're quite happy with that, I just want a little bit more in that corner there, just to balance all my corners out. I'm going to add some more texture by doing a little bit more stamping. Oops, I'm still going to need my soft sea foam, but this time I'm going to be using the stamp that just says thank you. And all I want to do is just stamp this around, and you can sort of stamp off a little bit. I don't think you feel that you have to have those words. You can have little bits of the words. I just want to just bring this in. Just have half words, part words, just giving a bit of texture to that whole card. Probably would help if I stamped a few of these straighter, but anyway, but that's fine. So I just want to create that little bit of a texture there. I am going to add a little bit more of this soft sea foam just to bring that in a little bit, just to blend those out, because I don't want them being too predominant. I just want them there because this is going to be a thank you card. So, and I'm just creating a texture, a background for my elements I'm going to pop on it. So there's my background. So now we're going to adhere that to a matte piece, which I'm doing in the Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue here because that's my glue of choice. Of course, if you want to use seal, you can, or the tear and tape. It's really up to you. I just like my multi-purpose glue because I can slip that around and move it into the position I want it to be in. Now, while I think of it, and I've got my soft sea foam ink here, what I think I also might do is grab my Very Vanilla card insert and just add, there we go, I couldn't for the life of me see my soft seafoam ink. I just want to add a little bit of stamping in one corner down here. And just a little bit of sponging, just to add a little bit of texture. A bit of colour just to that corner. I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow and also on here. So let me just clean my stamp down. So I've got my chamois here. So I just want to clean this thank you. Not that it really matters that much because I'm going from light to dark, but always best to stay in the habit of just stamping, cleaning your stamps after you finish using them. And I'm just going to stamp a thank you in the middle there. And I also want to stamp a thank you on my piece of soft seafoam. And this I'm going to die cut out. So again, in my Mossy Meadow, I'm just going to stamp a thank you there. I'm going to be doing some more stamping with the Mossy Meadow in a moment, but I just want to adhere this piece on the inside of my card. That's just going to go just in there. Just to give that a nice finish on the inside. So there's, I haven't adhered those together at the moment because what I want to do now is do a little bit of die cutting. So I'm going to pop these to one side and I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss. And we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. So what we need to do, in my Mossy Meadow, I really love this die here. It's probably one of the bigger ones. Let me just get that, because you can cut this out twice and have one coming from down the bottom, and then you get like a not quite a mirror image, but I'm only going to do this once. But if you cut this out twice, you could have one going in that direction and then one going in that direction. So if you like to have something that's symmetrical, it's probably not actually really symmetrical because symmetrical is almost mirror image, but you can form a balance with it. But I really do like this as a base. So I've got my pieces here. I'm going to pop that in there. I'm going to die cut that. And I'll show you what I was talking about in a little while. So we'll take those pieces out. I'll pop them out of that in a moment. And the next one I want to die cut is this piece here. And I'm going to cut this in the berry burst. Now I'm mainly just using up scraps of cardstock here. Always a great way to keep your scraps and use them up for little bits and pieces like this. This is just a really good way and a quick way of building up a card. So I'll pop that out in a moment as well. Now I've got a piece of vellum here, and I've decided that I'm going to cut this die out in my vellum. Okay, got someone there. I don't know who it is, so I might just... I'll let that person be for the moment. And there's our die cut piece there. So we've got that piece there. And then I just want to die cut also from this, just a few other little pieces. So I've got a few of the other little singular dies. I'm just going to cut them out, also in my vellum. Whether I use them or not is another thing. Sometimes it's good to have a few of these as fillers, and I like to cut a couple of them. Now, I do know in this particular die there is 2 of them, but I've only just pulled the one out for today. Let's just see if I can pop these out with my take a pick tool and then recut as well. So how is everybody going today? I hope you're all keeping warm. I hope you are, Linny. It's pretty cool here in the Highlands at the moment, so I'm sure if it's cool here, it'll be even cooler still maybe where you are. So I'm just trying to poke these out with my take a pick tool through those little holes. I've just grabbed that end there. And I'm going to die cut at least another 1. I could have run all these through at the same time if I had a thought. Okay. So let's just pop these ones out. Now there is another stamp that I've got here, and I haven't stamped it, so we might just stamp it. I'm not quite sure whether yet I'm going to be using it or not, and I'm going to use the Berry Burst ink for this, and it's the little flower that it's in it. Now these are photopolymer stamps, and you should actually have a mat underneath them, a foam mat, when you're using these, but because these are just outline stamps, I find that I can stamp these quite reasonably. So I just want to stamp probably at least 3 of these. I'm going to turn this up the other way and stamp my 3rd one just there. Now I may not use the whole 3, I just want to have them available. We are going to do a little bit more stamping with that Berry Burst, but I just want to clean this stamp off, because being a red colour, it will stain my stamps quite quickly. Don't worry if your inks stain your stamps. It's just one of the things about photopolymer, that the red inks and even the Night of Navy will stain your photopolymer, and the Night of Navy even comes up pink as well, so it must have like a pink base in it. So I want to die cut these. So I'm just going to pop these under here. I've got 3 of these to die cut, so I've got the die here. Just line all those up. This is probably the most time-consuming part, is actually die cutting everything, but it's well worth it. Beautiful sunshine, but it looks like the clouds are coming over. It was cold though. Yeah, I haven't really been outside, but I don't think it's like I'm not that warm inside, so I'm assuming that it's actually quite cool outside too here, Lenny. So yesterday was glorious. It was a lovely day in Goulburn yesterday. I actually, after I left you, I had to go and remove the top I had underneath my outer top, and then I drove out of Goulburn with my windows down because I was a bit hot. It was actually beautiful. It was lovely having morning tea with you yesterday. I really enjoyed that. Okay, we've got one more to go. Just pop that there for the moment. Oh, we've still got to cut out our thank you. Okay, so there's those floral pieces all cut. Still need to cut out my thank you. So I'm using this smaller die here, which fits beautifully around my thank you. But I also do want to cut out a masking piece as well. So let me just pop this in here. And we'll die cut that. Just making sure it's all in the middle. Now, of course, if you aren't already part of Stamping Up and you're thinking about joining, you would have enough to be able to get one of these mini cut and emboss machines as part of your what you choose as your bundle for joining. So it's always, if you don't have one and you're wanting one, it's always another good reason to take advantage of the joining. I'm just cutting this out of the masking piece of post-it note, and I've got it positioned. I've got my die positioned partially over the sticky part of a post-it note. So there's my post-it note. So there's piece that's part that's not sticky. This is the end that is sticky. So I'm left with this little piece here, which I've got one end is sticky. And I will show you what I'm going to do with that. So I think we've pretty much covered most of the die cutting now. I want to do a little bit more stamping. So let me just bring this in again. And I'm going to position this post-it note where I think I'm going to have. I don't want it in the center. I want it to one side a little bit. Just there like that. And I'm just going to check, because what we're going to do, so I need to release these dies. Let me just grab this take a pick tool and release the cardstock from the dies, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. We're going to layer them all on top of each other. Oops, not quite out yet. Very gently lift that out. So there's one. Hi, Marie from Alberta. I was wondering how you've been going. How's it going with those bushfires? Been thinking about you for the last fortnight, and I'm hoping and praying that everything was going well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to layer these. Now, I was talking before about how you can turn these around. So this piece is going to go and cover up this bar. So it's going to go on the bar there. Now, I just so happen to have a second one here. I'm not that I'm going to be using the second one in here. I just had this for when I was playing around. But if you wanted to have something that was a little bit more symmetrical, so there's the two pieces cut out. You can turn this piece upside down and you can add it to the bottom there. So you get, that type of effect. So it just gives you an all-around decorative piece. So, I mean, I really just like these just for this, and then you can build up all your pieces underneath. But we're just going to use one of them. So I'm going to remove that one. What I just want to do now is I just want to layer these up a little bit and just make sure that I've got this piece, my mask, in the position I want it in. So what I can do is glue these together. So this piece is going to go on top like that. And then we have the vellum piece. And I was thinking that vellum piece would go on top there like that. Or we could sandwich it in between. May even sandwich it, yep. Let me just move this out of the road. If I glue these all together, then I can handle them better. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue along this bar. This is really good because they've got this bar on there. You don't have all these sort of like fiddly loose pieces of cardstock that you're trying to push in. We've still got a few of them. I haven't got rid of them altogether. But all I'm doing is layering that bar on top of all on top of each other. So I'm just sandwiching in that all there together. So of course then you can cover that up with a piece of ribbon going across. But I'm actually just going to pop that sentiment is going to eventually go about there. But what I want to do at the moment is I want to do a bit more stamping on this. I want to make sure that I've got that piece is going to go there and that piece is going to go on top. Now, have I got that position, or should I be putting this straight in the middle? Because we don't want these pieces to overhang. So I'm just sort of working out where I want this to be, because I did sort of want it not necessarily be in the middle. Of course, if I wanted to, you could have a few of these going down the bottom, but I'm just wanting it across the top. So I think about there is going to be about fine. So I'm going to just pop that out, and that's going to go there. So what I want to do is I'm going to take let me just show you which stamp it is that I'm going to use. It's these two pieces here, which look like, twigs with berries or something like that on it. And the reason why I've got my mask there is because they're a bit long, maybe for what I want. And this is the long one, and then I've got the shorter one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp one there, and then I'm going to stamp the second one and stamp it off a bit there. Then I'm going to do the same with this one, but I'm turning it upside down, and I'm going to do it one there, and then stamping off again, one there, like that. Hoping this is going to work. Now I just need to clean off my 2 stamps because I'm going to bring back in the Mossy Meadow. So we're just sort of building up a little bit of a background to our pieces we're going to lay on top. I'll take this bigger one again, and in the Mossy Meadow. And I'm just sort of fanning it. You can bring it down a slightly different length, the same sort of thing. I just want to stamp that off. And I have got a little bit of green there, so let's hope I can cover that up. See how we go. And we're going to stamp that off there. So we need to put something over get rid of that, remove our mask. So I've just got that little line just there, which we need to get rid of. And because there were holes, because this has got little holes in it, I've got a couple of dots there, but I'm not worrying about that because they are going to get covered up. So this piece here is going to go there, pretty much like that. And eventually that will go over the top there. So I can bring that down a little bit just to cover up that line, and that'll work out quite well. Now the question is, these flowers, where can we pop these? Let's just have a look. Now we can cut the stems down. Do we use them? Don't we use them? I think what I might do is I might glue that. Whether do we glue that to that and lift it up? Because then if we wanted to, we could add, if I glued this piece to this, then these can tuck more underneath. If I glued this piece directly to my card front and then put dimensionals on this one, then these pieces would sit above. And I think I like them coming out from behind. So I think what I'm going to do, fires unfortunately are still roaring around with the wind creating havoc. Oh, I hope you get more rain. Yeah, I know here locally, like I said to you last week, we've got a friend of ours who goes over to Canada for the fires, to help with the fires over there each year, and he left the other day with a contingency from New South Wales. So I hope that they can help with you guys over there. Yeah, it's such a worrying time when the fires are like that. So what I've just done is I've just added a little bit of glue on that bar, and I've just adhered my thank you to that. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. I just want to bring that, whoops. I can be a little bit OCD with this and wanting everything to be nice and straight. That's better. Yeah, I think that'll look better behind Linny. I'm only going to put 2 on there because we do want to tuck a few things in behind. So I think that will work well. Now we want to cover up that line that we made. So that little line is just underneath there, or nicely hidden. And then I'm going to, I think, tuck that one in there. So we can add a little bit of glue. Whoops, he just wants to pop through there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down the bottom. I generally don't put glue on the top because I like to have this all lifting up a little bit. And then that can just pop in there. And then we've got another one over here. And I'm just thinking that one there, I think I want to come in just in there a bit, I think. I'll pop that little bit out. Now we've got some of these little vellum pieces. Can add in, so we're going to add these little leaves. Again, just putting a bit of glue just on the stem. Just going to tuck that into there. And I've got this one here, which is like little flowers. It's similar to this piece that we die cut there that was on the bar. And I'm going to pop that one. Probably just coming out from underneath those flowers there. So you're building this up like you would do with if you're doing floristry and so forth. Now we've got another one of these leaves where you just sort of you put in your main pieces and then you put in all your fillers. So your fillers go in last, so then you can fill up all those little holes or little bits left over. And don't be afraid to die cut more if you need to die cut a few more pieces and add a bit more in there. Now I haven't got anything here, but that's okay. I think actually wondering whether that one there should actually even come more. No. I don't necessarily want to go all the way around. So let me just bring this up closer to the camera so you can see what I've done there. Now that thank you has actually lightened quite a bit, and I think I might just pop another light one just there. That's just got a little bit of a hole there. So I'm just going to grab wrong ink. Good thing I realised that before I stamped. I've just got my thank you, and I'm just going to pop one about there and another one there, which is just a little bit lighter. A lot lighter, actually, but that's okay. You can sort of fills in that little bit of a hole right there. So let me just show you that again. So there it is there. So it looks like it's a mistake there, but it's not. But if I just get my brush, and that will lighten once that dries. Okay. And we could also put, we might have a look and see what blingy things we can put on there. So let's grab our card base and let's adhere that down to there. I'm so glad I used the Mossy Meadow. I was thinking at one stage of having it all in the soft sea foam, but I think the Mossy Meadow just really lifts that soft sea foam colour up a bit. Now, who has got a favourite designer series paper? Who's going to take advantage of the sale at the moment with the designer series paper where you can get it with the discount? I know I definitely am. There's a few papers that I want. So I thought I'd grab a couple of them. Okay, so there's our card. So let's just have a look, see what bling that I've got. Whoops, dropping everything on the floor here. Now, where are the ones that I know that are current? I'm looking for one in particular. Don't think they're the right colours. Let's see what else I've got in here. They're not right colours. Might be able to use something from there because I'm sure they're current. Let's have a look. I'm just thinking those top ones at the top there. So I'm going to pop one of these, probably around about there. That's one big one. A small one there. I like to do things in groups of 3. So that one there can go up a bit higher. Don't usually add a lot of bling because I'm not a blingy sort of person, but I think this card needs it. Don't necessarily want to cover up that thank you, but maybe just take that one off for a second. That bigger one there. Just change the positions a little bit. How's that? You're definitely getting some more DSP. Okay. So that's my card for the day. Let me just bring in this stamp set again. I'll just remove some of those dies out of the road. So there's the timeless arrangements. And there's my card today that I've made with that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. You could also add a little bit of Winker Stella to that if you wanted to. But I think with the little bit of bling on there, that's quite enough. And then we've just got that little bit of an extra decoration on the inside just to say thank you. So that's just a really fun card. It's one of those stamp sets that you can really build up, and just make it whatever you want to make it. You can play. You cut these pieces up that we've cut. These pieces here. You don't need to use them all in one piece. I mean, you can very easily just decide, okay, you want to use that piece there somewhere, and even trim these down so then you can tack them, tuck them in other places. There's just so much you can actually do with this set. So really worthwhile getting this bundle and having a play, and you could add it to, some of your designer series papers. I mean, some of these would look really great, sitting on top of those as well. So consider joining me in Stamping Up. As I said, I don't see all my friends that I've made in Stamping Up become more like family. Really lovely people. I'm making friends all the time with Stamping Up, so it is really, really worthwhile. But I mean, it's just having that outlet, whether it be stamping, card making, scrapbooking, embroidery, sewing, or whatever, having something that you can do that gives you time out, gives you a time when you can relax, enjoy something, meet new people if you want to meet new people. Like, the people that come to my classes become really good friends now. They're not just people that I've met along the way. I might only see them once every month, but every now and then we'll run into each other in the street and we'll have a chat. We're friends. We know what's going on in each other's families. You build really good, strong relationships and friendships through crafting, and this is just a really good way to get yourself started if this is what you want to do. So as I said before, if you do want to have a chat about it, please just give me a holler. You can email me on Michele Jutrissa, Michele@jutrissa.com. Sorry, I have to think a little bit about that at the moment. Or leave me a message if you're here in Australia and I can give you a call. So it's all up to you. So take care. Marie, please take care where you are over there. Excuse me. I hope those fires aren't getting too close to you. And please stay safe. Nothing is worth it as long as you and your family are safe and looking after yourselves. So we'll catch up with you next week and we'll create another card. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye for now.